Hey, it's Patrick, and welcome to some more Tesla news. Apparently, if you say hello to a Tesla in the voice commands, it will say hello back now. There's an upgrade to the servers on the Tesla side, or at least it was there for a little while. I just tried it out. It didn't work on my Cybertruck. Other people reporting that it's working. Elon's been saying for years they're going to upgrade the voice recognition inside Teslas to be more natural, like a Siri, Alexa, take it to another level, like ChatGPT, which Rock with X and XAI is going to be integrated into the Teslas. So it'll be a more natural language conversation and asking the Tesla to do things like unfreeze the charge port, warm up the charge port, or, you don't have to say things directly like that. Like, it's really cold outside and I can't charge. And it'll be like, okay, I'm turning on the heater to the charge port. Things like that. So hopefully that's coming really soon. Maybe it's a hidden Christmas update or a New Year's update or something, but soon. It looks like they're going to be upgrading the voice commands in the Teslas. Teslarati, I have links in the show notes below with all the details and everything that they've got in their sources, and there's a lot more to it. But I really want to get a video out. They're finally updating the V4 Superchargers. So these are also technically called the 3.5s. So they have the dispensers that are V4, and then they have the cabinets that are still V3. And about a week ago or so, they showed off the new V4 cabinets that are capable of 500 kilowatts, 800 volts, so like half a megawatt of power to Cybertrucks, which were charging at like 1,200 miles per hour range. So the fastest charging electric vehicle that I know of, that outside of like a semi or something, is really impressive. So building up to that, apparently they're sending out updates to a bunch, over a dozen V4 dispensers, these 3.5 superchargers, to allow 325 kilowatts. Still not quite the 350 you see at Electrify America, but the early tests that Sawyer Merritt was showing are really good. Like, all the way from 8% to 40% is just 10 minutes. So basically, you're talking 200 miles of range in 10 minutes, which is really good. 8% to 80% is like 35 minutes. Charging curve seems pretty good. I guess it's pretty similar to if you're using an adapter on another DC fast charger. But you don't hit under 200 kilowatts until you get around 35 to 40% of the battery. If you travel like I do, and you go for like 3 or 4 hours, and then you charge just long enough to go and use the bathroom, get some snacks, you only end up there like 10 to 15 minutes, and then you've got a couple hundred more miles of range and you go again. It works really well, and this will be a huge welcome to the Cybertrucks. It'll be interesting to see when the range extender comes out, how that affects the charging and the charge curve, and how it works with the new V4 cabinets, especially since they're building these stations with the pull-through, which they've updated in the firmware to now show which superchargers have pull-through chargers for if you're doing. A lot of big things being announced over the past couple of days. The cyber cabs are now showing up in showrooms across the nation. There's one down in Lone Tree, Colorado. So if you want to go check out a Tesla without a steering wheel or an accelerator pedal and no door handle, and there's like this, like this, then you can go check one out. Cool, but I mean, they are meant to be like a super cheap, smaller vehicle. Surprisingly, it's really comfortable for how small and little it was. I got a ride in one. If you haven't seen my video, you can check it out. I did a very long stream of the event in person. That was a couple hours long, and then I did a condensed like 10, 15-minute one with the highlights. And it was a lot of fun. I can't wait to see them all over the place. I'm sure that's going to get pretty soon here. It sounds like is just around the corner. The way we full self-driving is going, it's looking like it's going to happen sooner rather than later. Like, feature complete maybe by the end of the month, and then just getting, from driveway to driveway. There was a post on X about someone driving, I can't remember if it was from San Francisco to LA, with zero interventions, driveway to driveway on the new beta 14. So it's technically able to do it. Now it's just a matter of how well it can do it and how much safer than a human it could do it. So that's kind of like a first. So if you want your Tesla to stand out from the same normal colors, like the blue, red, whites, blacks, and grays, you can wrap your vehicle. And you can always go and have some local shop do it, and they'll charge anywhere between $2,000 or $3,000 to $10,000, depending on how good they are and how much they want to charge. Tesla was offering it on Cybertrucks and Model 3s and Ys It was $8,000 for the Cybertruck, $6,500 for the 3 and the Y. They haven't been doing S's and X's. But the new cost is now, that's just a vinyl wrap instead of the PPF, $4,500 for the Cybertruck, $4,000 for the 3 and the Y. Look up the differences between PPF and vinyl. Basically, PPF is stronger. Vinyl's obviously cheaper, but there's a lot more options of colors and things. Although Tesla's reducing the amount of options they have. So if you go to the Tesla lab, you got some limitations. If you want to do it yourself, I actually have a sponsor that will be putting out a video on very, very soon. They sent me the palette of like over 100 colors to pick from. So you get the little thing to pick your colors and you can test them out in the light. And then you send it back and they send you the kit and they give you an extra to practice on. So we'll see how all that goes. I'll try my hand at putting on my own vinyl wrap. So yeah, like a fourth the cost of what Tesla's charge. It'll be interesting to say the least. Let me know if you're interested in it and I'll any questions that you have so I can keep them in mind when I'm making the video about the do-it-yourself wrap. Speaking of wraps, on the Cybertruck, they've updated the firmware so that you can upload your own wrap. Like whatever you designed it in and printed it out or whatever, the color, you can go into an image editor and put it on there and then upload it and it'll show it in the display on the truck and in the app. Just more customization, better, right? Model S. They are now including free supercharging for life, at least till the end of the year. They did increase the price by $5,000. So apparently that's the value of free supercharging. And Tesla has done this kind of before in the past, but it's been a long time. There's some limitations. You're not supposed to use it for business. You can't exploit it. Like if they see you, Bitcoin mining in there, I did that with Doge for a while. My heat pump was dead. They're doing some kind of tricky power share. There's a third party plug now where you can pull power back out of the Tesla at a decent amount of power. They'll probably put the axe on the free supercharging. So I don't know, $5,000, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of supercharging. I do a lot of trips, maybe $100, $200 in supercharging every other month. I don't know. It would take a long time to equal $5,000. You're going to keep that Tesla for life, like your life. What do you guys think? Do you think it's worth an extra $5,000? Apparently you have no choice though. It just comes with the Model S. It's going to have it whether you want it or not. So another thing to kind of bring back is Steam. They announced they weren't going to be including it in new Teslas anymore. It was only on the X and the S because it had a dedicated GPU and more RAM. But with the Cybertruck, they didn't include it. And then the Model Y and the 3 refresh, they didn't seem to have the same amount of RAM or the dedicated GPU. Before it was like a PS4 level GPU. So you could run like fully titled games, 4K, like really great. But it's still about the same or slightly better than a Steam Deck on the non-GPU AMD versions. The most recent Model Y is the 3 refresh and the Cybertruck. They did a Steam update recently, kind of indicating that maybe they're going to push it out to all the Teslas, which would be great. There's a lot of games that don't need that much power, and it would just open up a lot more gaming that you could do in the Teslas, especially if you're allowed to do them in the seat. The kids can play games on there, or whoever's in the back seat. What do you guys think? Should they go ahead and just open it up and put Steam on there? Or maybe they're going to do streaming, or maybe they're going to start integrating Starlink. I have one in the back right here. It works really good. I can see them building it into Teslas very soon. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for all these crazy review videos that I have coming up. I have to be honest on some of them. So some of the products I got, not the best. We're going to have to update them because they got some issues with the installation process. So I'm going to give my honest review on those. Some of them are pretty cool. I'm going to recommend those. I've got a bunch of crazy stuff coming in, like lower cost tent options instead of the crazy one from Tesla, mattresses and window blacking out stuff. And I got this cool bar that goes on the front of the Cybertruck, this bull bar, or like if you're into animals or you need to push stuff out of the way, just a little more bumper protection. It's really cool. Looking for ideas on how to test that out and show it. I got some Molly panels in the back of the Cybertruck, been strapping a ladder and cable, and I'm trying to think about other things I should put on it, but it is pretty useful. It's just more mount points to put bungee cords and strap things to. Yeah, a lot of stuff. I got a new CCS charger. So like I talked about earlier, you can use Electrify America CCS on a Cybertruck, but not with the adapter Tesla makes currently because it's not long enough. But I've got a third-party one and a code where you can save money. You can do those. There's some that are rated for the higher voltage the 800 volt and some that are rated for the 400 volt. So my video is going to be a comparison on the two and how well they do and the differences. Yes, thank you so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Bye.
This has been a too small dice, but that's